I guess we can go ahead and put that energy on display. We can go ahead and
All right.
get started here if we're all ready. So, guys, welcome to the final Friday Forum of 2020. So this is it for the year, and we're going out on a really good one. So we're going to rev up our revenue. We're going to talk about how to increase your sales during the holiday season. And today we have Rochelle Edrington. She is the owner of Vpro Marketing and Sales. She is part of the PathStone Enterprise team now. She's one of our contractors, one of our experts. So Rochelle, thank you so much for joining us and for being willing to teach our group today. I'll do another introduction here as we get into it, but I want to get through some of this other stuff real quick. First, talk about a few housekeeping items. If you're not speaking, the best thing to do is kind of mute yourself. It cuts down on that background noise and all that static and all that. Also, the best way to engage with us, and we want you to engage with us, is through the chat feature. So down there, middle of your screen at the bottom, there's a little chat button. You can go in there and ask questions. That way we make sure we always have a record of questions you asked so we get them answered, especially for those that we can't answer today. Maybe we can send you an email with the answer. If you're not comfortable typing out your question, feel free to come off mute and ask your question out loud, especially in these forums. It's a little more conversational, a little more built around discussion. So we want that. If you are going to come off mute, if you have a headset, that's ideal because it cuts down, again, on that background noise, that static, kind of that chatter going on behind the scenes there. If you're on camera, please know that this is being broadcast out over Facebook Live and YouTube. So it's going to be on the internet forever and ever and ever. We'd love to see your face. I'm actually on camera today, so at the behest of a couple different people. So those people know who they are. But I'm happy to be with you. I'm happy to be on camera and show my face. I'm looking at a different screen right now. I have 3 monitors right now, so I am. If I'm not looking you right in the eyes, that's why. But the most important thing today is that you engage with us, that you're learning, you're getting educated, you're getting the knowledge, and you're getting your questions asked and answered. So we will make sure that we get all that today. Please do whatever you need to. Come off mute, use the chat, and we will make sure that you get all your questions answered. And we may actually have some time for role play here, some sales role playing, and I'm excited for that. I've done one with Rochelle kind of as we practice this, and it's actually beneficial and fun. So we'll make sure we have time for that. Most of you know who we are, PathStone Enterprise Center. We're a nonprofit community development financial institution. We're based in Rochester. I'm in Buffalo. We have a satellite office in Buffalo, or another location in Buffalo, rather. We provide small business loans and technical assistance to individuals in financially underserved communities. So for startups, we can go up to $5,000, and then for existing businesses, we can take you up to $250,000. Where we really set ourselves apart is what we're doing today, our free technical assistance. And that includes things like the Business Development Education Workshop Series, the forums, the Survival Kit Series, as well as one-on-one assistance with industry experts. So and this is a call out today, if you feel like you need help with sales and marketing to wrap up the year here, or just in general, let us know in the chat, and we can get you paired up with Rochelle to understand your needs and see what she can do to help you out. And if there are other needs that your business or your startup has, let us know in the chat, and we will get you paired up with an expert, even somebody like Mr. McCarley, who's on the call today. Mr. McCarley is one of our mentors and coaches and our TA providers, and we have a roster of individuals who can help you in those areas, in a lot of different areas. We also provide networking, and one way to network right now today is through the chat. So let us know who you are, what your business is, what you do, and what you're hoping to learn today from Rev Up Your Revenue, increasing your sales during the holiday season. Let us know. Also, this is the final forum of the year, but we want to stay in touch with you. We always want to be in touch with you. The best way to do that moving forward is through social media. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also check us out on our websites at theenterprisecenterinc.org and bizupbuffalo.org. Check us out there, and we'll continue to send you emails and updates, and especially as we get into the holiday season here. a few announcements before I let Rochelle be Rochelle and do her thing. The Next Level Virtual Workshop Series, week 8, Mike? Week 8 coming in on Monday. We'll be talking about succession planning and how to prepare your business for some kind of disaster or your eventual retirement. So we'll be talking about that week 8, Monday, 12 to 1:30, and every Monday through the end of November. So please join us for that. We've got some people rolling in here. This is great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Some things you guys should know about. The Fast Forward Monroe Grant Program is for existing businesses in Monroe County. So if you were looking for some relief because of COVID and the lockdown and all that, or if you just need some cash for your business, take a look at the Fast Forward Monroe Grant Program. We will have that link to you in the post-workshop email. Also, join us on November 19th from 3 to 5 p.m. for our Road to Wealth workshop. We'll be talking about ways to, we'll be talking about financial management as well as other avenues for you to fund your business, grants, loans, things like that. We have some great partners we're going to have on the call, and we will send out registration information for that in the post-workshop email. The last pitch of the day is our brand new podcast from PathStone Enterprise Center. Jahid and I have been working on that. We have 3 episodes up, the Profit and Loss podcast. You can find it really on any place you get your podcast. So check it out. It's about 30 minutes. Jahid and I have a lot of fun. So I love to hear the sound of my own voice, which is why I do this every week. So check us out on Profit and Loss podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And we've talked about how to get over that inertia of getting from point A to point B, planning to execution. We've also talked about questions that people have when they go in for a business loan. And I think that was a fun episode. So check us out there. And now, here's why you guys are all here. For Rochelle. She's going to teach you how to increase your sales, how to target your market, and how to make a little more money as we go into the holiday season here. So Rochelle is the owner and founder, CEO, boss lady at Vpro Marketing and Sales. Rochelle, I'm going to give you the floor here, and I'm going to unshare my screen so everybody can just focus on you.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for that, Adam. I am very excited to be here. I'm breathing slowly because my heart's pumping fast, okay? So, first and foremost, I definitely want to thank PathStone Enterprise Center for inviting me to share a little bit about what I know today. I am very thrilled to really be alongside this organization after really learning how you guys empower entrepreneurs. That falls in alignment with everything I believe. So I'm so grateful just to have this opportunity. So thank you so much. I do want to put it out there. I am very passionate about what I do. I'm also somewhat nervous. So if I talk extremely fast, somebody ring the alarm, say, hey, slow down, just let me know. I can see some of the chat popping up and I'll slow down just a tad because I definitely want to make sure what I share with you is able to resonate with you and sink in so you can then make it make sense for your business, but so much sense that you're like, aha, I know what to do now, right? So
hey, Rochelle, can I interrupt for just a second? If you guys want to, there's an option at the top of your screen to go into speaker view, and that will bring Rochelle as the primary view on your screen right now. So if you go into speaker view, that'll bring a big focus to Rochelle there. So just so you guys know. Back to you, Rochelle.
Thank you. Thank you. So once again, my name is Rochelle Edrington. I am a certified marketing and sales specialist. I am the owner of Vpro Marketing and Sales. What I do is pretty much I help service-based businesses to attract their ideal client by improving their online marketing strategy and their sales process. So I have been in the business, or I've started this business in 2016, but I like to say I have been about the business of entrepreneurship since I was in 2nd grade. And what I mean about that, okay, when I was in 2nd grade, my dad would not allow me to eat dinner until I was able to find the word entrepreneur in the dictionary. Now, listen, I was a spelling bee pro. You couldn't tell me anything. I'm like, Aunt, A-U-N-T. I'm going to the A's. There we go. So we all know that's not how you spell entrepreneur. He was gracious enough to kind of correct me because I was getting hungry. But that small seed is what manifested who I am today. So I'm forever grateful for that. Okay. But in 2016, I started out my business by freelancing as a sales consultant. And pretty much I help a lot of small businesses. But what I found is after helping a handful of small businesses, is they had a common goal and a common challenge. And that was they wanted more sales. However, they did not have a marketing program in place that supported the sales that they wanted, right? They didn't have a marketing program or a system in place, which led to inconsistent sales. All right. So my vision is really to help small businesses to master marketing, strengthen sales so they can leave a legacy. That's why most of us even go into business. We want to leave a legacy, put our mark on this thing called life, right? So which is why I'm here today. I want to talk to you a little bit about how to rev up your revenue, and increase your sales during the holiday season. All right. So first and foremost, I'm a big believer that in whatever you do, you need to start with the end in mind. Okay. And when I say that, when you do that, you have to set goals. So a lot of what I'm going to share, you probably heard before, but we have to make sure we implement the foundational things. So when you set goals, you want to make sure that
Rochelle, we lost your audio, I think. Can you guys hear
She
Rochelle?
muted herself by accident. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I can fix that.
No, I lost it as well.
unmute myself. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
We want to make sure, so back it up. We want to set SMART goals, right? SMART goals, most of us heard of this term before. We want to make sure the goal is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay. When I had mentioned that most of us set goals, and when I say we, when you hear me say we, is because I put myself in that because I've been there, done that, right? A lot of us will set a goal and say, hey, I'm going to do small numbers because mental math is not my strength. Okay. Hey, I want to earn $100, right? Most of our goals are bigger than that, but I want to earn $100. But a lot of us, make these extravagant goals and not really realizing what is it going to take to attain that. So when you set your goals, you want to make sure if it's a dollar goal, right? A sales goal, is that dollar amount a profit goal or is it a revenue goal? There's a difference, okay? And what I mean by that, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you sell notebooks. You sell notebooks, the notebooks are $10, okay? You wanna earn $100. If it's a revenue goal, then okay, $10, I need to sell 10 books. However, if it is a profit goal, if your profit per notebook is $5, now that means you need to sell 20 notebooks. So this is why it's very important to make sure we're setting goals that are realistic and it's exactly what it is that you want to achieve, right? So you're going to have a worksheet on that. But once you identify, how many you need to sell, then you want to ask the very important question, is this a realistic goal? Meaning, can I attain this goal in the time frame that I'm going to set for myself? If you're a service-based business, this is extremely important. Can I help this many clients in this time frame? Am I going to be able to, my output, am I going to be able to service or still give quality, right? So you really want to make sure that you're setting realistic goals. Now, what you want to then do is now think about who are you going to target, okay? When you're thinking about getting sales now, I am once again a strong believer about going after the low-hanging fruit, okay? The low-hanging fruit, let me see, is everything okay here? Oh, okay, he's showing the worksheet. The low-hanging fruit is basically, what I call your sweet spot clients. Your sweet spot clients, how you identify your sweet spot clients is you want to kind of start to think about who were the people that I helped in the past that if I had at least 10 more of these clients, or if I had 100 more of these clients, my business will be set, right? I call those the sweet spot clients. When you start to identify who your sweet spot clients are, you want to jot down who they are, right? And then start thinking about some commonalities. What do they have in common? All right. Once you find out those commonalities, as you can see on the worksheet, once you find out those commonalities, pick about 3 to 4 things that popped out that they all had in common. And then you kind of have an idea of who those sweet spot clients are, right? Then what I would like you to do is then kind of consider, like, what did they buy? Was there a commonality on the type of product they bought from me or the type of service they received? Because there is probably a storyline behind that, right? Of why they bought that product. And the why they bought that product is the most important part of really connecting with your sweet spot clients. Because all of this, when you understand all of this, it's going to help you to develop a customer-centric marketing strategy, okay? All a customer-centric mean, I mean, if you kind of break the words apart, you can really understand what it is, right? Centric, center, you want to make sure that any and everything that you do is surrounded, right, by your customer. Like, your customer is the middle, and everything you do is motivated by what your customer want or needs, okay? When you truly understand why my client buys from me, or why my customer buys from me, then that could be your key message, your key marketing message, like the thing you share in your marketing. But especially as we're, getting ready for the end of the year, it also can help you to develop a specific product that they actually want. Okay. One of the things I find that we tend to promote, if you have a business and what you do is your passion, and you're passionate about, we tend to promote the things that we like. And that is the biggest error that sometimes entrepreneurs make, right? We only sell what we like. I'm gonna give you an example. I had a client a couple of weeks ago who, she was a nonprofit client, and she came to me, she wanted help. We did a discovery call. Now, typically, she did fall into my sweet spot clients. So most of my sweet spot clients like this particular product, dealing with content marketing. And I'm like, hey, I am going to share that with her. But after talking to her, I realized that I really promoted a product or a service that I had, but she actually wanted more sales help, okay? Whenever you're developing a customer-centric strategy, it can apply to your marketing and it can apply to your sales conversations. But the most important tidbit I want to tell you is keep your customer in mind, keep them a focus, kind of have what do you want? I am the solution provider, right? And you work everything around that, all right? And so one of the things, I want to share with you another way that you can kind of help you to identify, or ways you can include it into your marketing. There's a company, it's called Natural Pig. That's where I buy some of my soaps, butters, and lotions and stuff like that from, right? The reason why I'm even sharing this story is because she sells a product that she sold to me the why. Let me just share the story. So she sells a product. She sells soaps, butters, and powders, right? And she has a quality product. But when I buy her product, right? When I buy her product, I am not buying just the actual products. I am actually buying the reminder of self-care. Listen, I am a mom. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. When early on when I started this business in 2016, I had an infant. Then I had another infant, right? If you're a mom, you're going to understand. If you're not, please don't judge me, okay? There was many a times where I had to take quick showers, or I missed the shower, or I'm trying to take a shower and have some time to myself, and kids are bombarding, knocking at the door, peeping under the door frame, whatever it may be, right? But when I use her product, it reminds me hey, Rochelle, you're worth it. You deserve that time for yourself. So once again, going back to the idea of why do your clients buy? Why do your customers buy? When you know what they buy, then you can market, you can sell to that point. And that's going to really help you to connect with more clients and potential clients. Okay.
Hey, Rochelle, I have a question about the sweet spot client. So can you kind of take us through, let's talk about that. that notebook example. So if I'm selling notebooks, if I'm doing this sweet spot client breakdown, and everybody's going to get this worksheet in their email, so please use this worksheet. It's awesome. Do I put like an actual client, or do I put like what I put down, Dave in Atlanta, or what I put down, single guys who are between 25 and 34? Like, do I put down what they fall into, or who that, like the actual person?
Right. So in the top part where you see the multiple boxes, right? If you had clients in the past, what I would do is put down the name of those clients. Okay. Because you know who they are. They're the people that you like, wish I had more of. You know who they are, and you know things about them. And the next box under the demographic areas, then that's when you want to put down what do they have in common. Right? If you notice that most of those past clients that you put down that they were men, then you want to put down men in that box. If you notice that most of them be between 25 and 35, if that was the commonality, you want to put that in that middle box. Okay. The whole goal of the middle box, or the whole goal of the whole sheet, is really to visualize what do they have in common. Okay. Listen, we're all different types of learners. If you can understand the objective of the sheet, if you're needing to take another piece of paper and literally write down that client and write some details about them, and do the next one, put the next client, write additional details. If you need to break it out that way, whatever works for you. But the biggest thing here is you identifying what is the commonality. Okay. Because there's a reason why this type of person or type of people buy from you. Okay. So that's what you want to do. Does that answer your question? Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So definitely you want to find that sweet spot client and truly understanding, once you understand, who they are, most importantly, what they've been buying from you, but that why I'm telling you, that's going to be like what you talk about all the time in your conversation and your marketing, whatever, because when you know what people want, that's all marketing is about. Telling them what they want, sharing about what it is that they desire. The thing about marketing is just trying to help people find you. So you have to do your due diligence and say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I understand what it is that you want. I understand you. Come to me because I have what you need. That's all marketing is. Okay. But we have to do our due diligence on the back end. So moving forward, we have identified how to set goals, how to identify your sweet spot customer or client, and the importance of developing a customer-centric strategy. Let's talk about where to start with online marketing. Now, this part is really just overview. We're not going to get into a lot of specifics here for timing purposes, but I know a lot of people, they say, okay, I know what I do. I know who I want to, connect with. Like, how do I reach them? Okay. Once again, when you truly understand your sweet spot client, you want to make sure that everything you do is in alignment with that. So how do you reach them? If you know that you're dealing with, let's just say, women between, 25 to 35. Okay. I'm gonna just keep it there to keep it simple. Where do I go on social media? Google it, because if you know what generation your ideal client falls in, you could say, Google generation, where do Generation X, which social media platform does Generation X hang out on? Literally Google is so awesome, y'all. I Google everything. Okay. Just whatever you think, put it on Google, because they're going to pick the words that's important and start directing you. So how do you reach them? You go to the places and the spaces that they hang out. It is that simple, I promise you. The only reason why it doesn't seem that simple, because I think sometimes a lot of us, we listen to a lot of gurus, and you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, and you should be doing this and doing that. And listen, as a solopreneur, if that's what you call yourself, or if you have a small business with limited time and staffing, we have to focus. Okay. Figure out one thing, and do that. All right. But I'm going to calm down before I get ahead of myself. But how do you reach them, right? You go to the places and the spaces that they are. Okay. You have online communities, Facebook groups. If you're into paid ads, when you really know your sweet spot client, and when Facebook asks if you want to boost, and you might be like, I'm just going to boost. I don't know what to do with the rest, but now you do, right? I know I need to put myself in front of men that are ages 25 to 55 that live in this geographic. Are we following? Okay. It's all coming together, right? It's going to help you. So it can impact your targeted ads, and most importantly, listen, as a small business, startup business, and once again, a lot of people don't talk about this, but you have to be in a business development mindset, i.e. you have to be a salesperson, period, until you have a business that's able to operate, you know, without you really putting out much sales, because your marketing is handling that, right? So what does that mean? We have to network, get referrals. So a lot of us have this issue, I'm not gonna say an issue, but sometimes we ask for referrals because we want to help everyone know. When you know your sweet spot client, you say, listen, hey Becky, who do you know that's a man 25 to 55 that he likes to go camping, because I got some supplies for him, you know? Like, if you know your sweet spot clients, when you ask for referrals, you're asking for exactly what you want. All right. And I don't know if many of you heard of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. I am a firm believer. I do my best to implement that and with everything that I do. And basically all that is saying is 80% of your outcomes are going to come from 20% of your inputs or your efforts. Okay. Once again, I'm a strong believer. It's my philosophy to build on what you're great at. If you had sales in the past and you acquire clients in the past, how did you do that? Right? If it worked, do it again. Put 80% of your energy into that. Work. You get what I'm saying? And that's how you're going to get more clients and sales. Do what works. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying, because your business is your business. All right. All right. So let's go ahead. I gotta take a breath here, because once again, I think I'm talking really fast. So now, once you know who you want to target, and you know kind of how to connect with them, right? Now, when it's time to have that conversation, like, what do I say? You know, I tell people, you need to stop pitching and start connecting. When I was talking to Adam, I don't know if I should share this part, but I always laugh because, you know, I do not use profanity. But stop pitching. You know, what's the other word when somebody's complaining all the time? Don't say it. Don't put it in the chat. Okay. But that's what I'm really trying to tell you. Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is your business. This is, you know, just because you have a product and you feel all like excited about it, that does not require the next person to feel that way. It is your job to help them feel that way. So what I want to do is I want to show you how you can really stop pitching and start connecting. One of the issues that many people have with sales is we're so excited about what we do and we sell without permission. And what that means is, I'm gonna just give you an example. I was in a mall one day and this girl came up to me and gave me her business card. And she was like, hey, I do hair and I do braids and I do, you know, wraps and all this stuff. And first and foremost, she didn't introduce herself. I'm like, hello, hi, how are you? You know, but then I have locks. I'm not even your ideal client. You know, sometimes we sell too fast because we're so eager. Listen, there's a process. So let me teach you the process. First, you have to always remember that people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay, that even is important in the sales process. So you show you care through conversation. When I started sales, I learned a methodology, a sales method called the impact method. Okay. And here's the basics. Impact is an acronym. I stands for investigate. When you investigate, you're really learning about who you're trying to connect with. Okay. It's the same thing like what I just recommended you do, learning about your sweet spot client. When you do that, you can obviously you're starting to do some investigation, right? There's levels to that, but that's the surface. Okay. M means meet. You have the opportunity to introduce yourself. When I talk to my clients, I don't tell them, when you meet someone, like when I meet someone, I don't say, hey, I do digital marketing. Because for some people, they're like, that sounds great. You know what I say? I help service-based businesses attract more clients. When you meet, you want people to find themselves in your story. Because I'm like, oh, I'm a service-based business and I want more clients. So what do you do? That's how we start the conversation. And that leads to P. P is probe. You ask questions. If we can really learn to really master the art of asking questions, listen, whatever you do is eventually going to sell itself, because that's going to lead to apply. I tell people, when you're a salesperson, you know, if you have a negative connotation to sales, get that out your mind. Okay. Look at yourself as a solution provider, a consultant, because if you're asking questions, now at this point, your job is to say, you know, based on what you told me, Mr. and Mrs. Client, potential client, this is your need or your goal, and this is my product or solution, and this is how they can help you reach that or overcome that, right? It won't feel like sales if you're helping. Okay. So convince is that part that a lot of people kind of get, they get set back by, they feel like the person is just like, I don't want to buy your product. Convince is the objection stage. If you start to realize that the person might not really be having an objection, but they just might need you to clarify some of their questions, then all you do is then go back and say, okay, you ask more questions to address or understand why they're not ready or why they feel like your product is not the good fit. Like, have that conversation and not be sales, because if it's a conversation and you're coming off like, I care and I really want to help you find a solution, they're going to talk to you. And once you get them and say, you know what, I need what you have, you better tie that thing up. Okay. And what I mean by that, a lot of us don't know how to close. Google how to close. There are so many techniques on how to close. Okay. What I would recommend is you find the one that best fits your personality, and you pick 2 or 3, and that's in your toolkit, period. Impact selling. There you go. Sales 101. I won't charge you for that. So, when we think about revving up our revenue, and, we get to the point they're ready to make a sale, or even in that same process, you want to make sure that whatever you're promoting is timely. See, if you are able to tie a sense of urgency to the why they buy, you're going to get some sales. Okay. Listen, if you know why they buy and they understand why they buy and they need that, and you say, listen, I got this Black Friday deal. It's only going to last to Cyber Monday. You get what I'm saying? You want to create urgency, because in the back of our mind, most of us don't want to let go of our cash, period. Okay. And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to try it next month. It ain't going to be here next month. You want to get this now. But if you tie it to the why and not to the price, I'm telling you, because a lot of people, it's so easy to say, hey, I want to get more sales, I'm going to discount my price. Please don't let that be your first go-to. Okay. Figure out that why. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. So when you know their why and you're speaking to that why and you're helping them to overcome whatever the problem or getting them close to their goal, you're bringing value. Okay, so get that price. Sometimes it's not a price issue. All right, so. I really hope I was able to drop some gems, and, I can't wait to chat with you all to see what questions you have, but let's do a quick recap, okay? So when we talked about revving up your revenue, we talked about how it's important to set SMART goals, okay? You want to identify your sweet spot client. Once you do that, then develop a customer-centric marketing strategy, which will lead you to developing a customer-centric offer, right? And then how do I reach them? You go to the places and the spaces where your sweet spot client hangs out. And last and definitely not least, stop pitching and start connecting through conversation. So thank you all for listening. Adam, I'm going to turn this over to you. And if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
That was fun. This is fun. I told Rochelle that I hate sales. I'm not a marketer. I'm not a sales guy. But after working with Rochelle for just, 25 minutes last week or 2 weeks ago, it was, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to sell something. I'll sell anything. I'm ready. So now I kind of want to open it up. What questions do you guys have? Who wants to do a role play with Rochelle? Who wants to learn how to sell something for their business? Who wants to learn? I'm looking at a couple people. All right, our mommy village, let's go. You want to do a role play with Rochelle?
She made me a believer, most certainly.
All right.
Yes.
Do you want to do
I'm gonna do my best.
All right. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to Rochelle, and then tell her about what you do over there at Mommy Village.
Okay.
Oh, wait. How are you introducing yourself, Shana?
Oh my goodness, should I get my notebook?
Well, we're going to get this right, okay?
We are.
We're going to get this right, okay.
I was practicing it yesterday. All right, so
Rochelle, Mr. McCarley has given, in his workshop, he teaches our participants how to pitch themselves. So you're getting ready to hear that, and then you can work with her on how to formulate her sales process, and kind of like you and I did last week.
Yes. Okay.
So really what I want you to tell me, you know, we're going to act like you're coming to me for marketing help. I'm treating you like a client right now, right?
Okay.
You know, you got to tell me a little bit about your business. And then I'll start asking you questions so I can learn more and then we can navigate this thing.
Okay. So should I just go and do my whole spiel?
Go on. Yep.
Like now the pressure's on.
Right?
I'll play some music in the background.
That's what happens when you have mentors and coaches.
Right, because I'm like, I wasn't quite ready. I was just gonna tell you. All right, so my name is Shayna Broughton and I am the founder of Our Mommy Village, doula, lactation, and postpartum services. And it's an establishment engaged in supporting mothers of color and their babies during their childbirth experience. I lost my juice. I'm sorry. Where is it?
You got it. You got to keep going.
You got to feel it. Go on and feel it. No, go on and feel it. You know how to say it without looking at that paper.
I do, and then I feel like I'm gonna miss something. I'm afraid I'll miss it. All right.
Y'all put so much pressure on her. We are in a client session here. Come on, Miss Shayna. No pressure. It's me and you. Nobody else is on this live.
Right. Okay. So it's been observed. Oh my goodness. It's been observed and found through our research that mothers of color die at a disproportionate rate than their white counterparts. One of the solutions is to guide our clients through an educational journey of pre-birth, birth, and delivery, health, examples of which are optimal health, calm, managed birth, and postpartum support. And I think that's as far as I got.
Okay. So a lot of this, I'm going to try to speed it up for time purposes, right? So you offer, I never say the word right, douala or doula?
Doula,
okay.
Yep. It
literally offer
just
doula
means
service.
Support. It literally just means support.
Okay. So but doula services, that's what you offer, like the basis, right? And your clients are mothers of color. All right. So, you know, especially as it relates to this, you know, this presentation, Revving Up Revenue, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve?
Well, the goal is to make sure that as many Black and brown moms have the support that they need going forward, because we die on the tables. So I just, you don't hear me? Oh, she's muted. But can you hear me?
They muted everyone. So you have to unmute yourself.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, Shayna.
Right.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I was just saying, like, the goal is for every Black and brown mom to have the support of a doula from pre-birth all the way to postpartum. So that's essentially what I want.
I'm sorry. For some reason, my audio went out when. So back up and just tell me what your because the goal of this quick sales is I want to help you to identify like what you could be doing, right, to get more sales, to get more clients, right? So when you talk about a goal, we're going to talk revenue goal, right? What is your sales goal? What is that dollar amount?
$1,200 a person.
Okay.
It's my doula services is $1,200 per person because it is a lot of support.
Okay, so it's $1,200 per person, but if you're thinking about the end of the year, right? Most businesses, we have in a sense a fiscal year, or we just do a calendar year. You know, when you have, you know, when you're doing, remember I talked about starting with the end in mind. You have a business. You should know how much money I want to make in 2020.
Oh, I see.
Right? You get what I'm saying? So let's just say your goal was to make $10,000. I'm keeping low for, like I told you, mental math, y'all. Let's say your goal was $10,000. We got 2 months left. Let's just say you only made 8. Your goal should be whatever that. Right. So let's backtrack. What is your sales goal? What is your revenue goal? What are you hoping to accomplish by the end of this year?
I would like to sign on 4 new mothers before the end of the year.
4 new moms, 12 times 4, is that 48? So $4,800.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, help me out, Shayna. I said $1. You want to tell me 4 people?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm messing up. It's because I have my robot.
All right, so 4 people. is that a revenue goal or is that a profit goal? Are you wanting to have $4,800 in your pocket?
Well, the $4,800 would be that's my monthly goal. So like, I would like 4 moms a month.
4 moms a month.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go there.
That's $1,200 per mom a month.
Okay, so you're focused on revenue goals. All right, which is fine. So you're working on 4 revenue goals. Not revenue goals. The revenue goal is 4 moms a month, which will revenue your business $4,800. Okay. So what are you currently doing now in reference to getting clients in?
Well, I use my social platforms, but to be honest, I haven't worked this business for full time up until like recently. So this is all new.
Okay, so this is full time for you now.
And over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have you ever, from your marketing efforts in the past, have you gotten clients from your marketing efforts?
I have, but they trickle in. So I usually, like, I have never really given it a lot of the effort that I'm doing now. But you have had
some success. Like,
yes.
You did something. What was that thing that you did? What did you do that brought in that client?
It's pretty much the talking, building the relationship. I enjoy letting the customer talk and tell me pretty much.
And I'm so sorry. I am not trying to be rude. I know we're on the time frame. We're in this hour consultation. I just want to shorten things a little bit. So it's coming from a good place, I promise. Building a relationship through conversation. How did you reach out to them? Was it like a direct message? Was it a referral? Like, give me some insight on that.
Well, the most recent was word of mouth. So basically a client that I had before referred another client to me. And so she just called me and we just sat and we chatted, and she told me which part of the process she was in. So she's in pre-conception. So that conversation was about pre-conception. Okay.
So tell me a little bit about the person that referred them. Was this a professional? Or
yes.
What profession?
She works at a bank.
She works at a bank.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then the other person also works at the bank.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So just off of that, I would definitely recommend you to go wherever, if referrals worked in the past, then what you should be focusing on right now is how can I bring my A game through my sales, through my conversation. Okay. And just to backtrack, the $4,800 do you have any expenses you have to pay with that?
Well, my living expenses, that's actually being quite modest, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't put in any of my other stuff, like the things that I need for the moms. Yeah, I do have things that I get for them.
Okay. All right. So, I think that's not going to really matter. So let's get, since you have to master your sales conversation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a quick role play now. If I was that referral, right?
Okay.
How I don't know what I should say.
Well, the last person just basically came to me and said, I want a better experience than I had before, and I need a doula. And someone gave me your number. And that's pretty much, she didn't know anything about me. She didn't even know I was on Facebook.
Okay. So if I'm thinking off the top of my head right now, so once again, if referrals is the thing that is the strongest, we do have to master that conversation, right? Even just conversation, so you can get more people to refer people to you. Okay. So, going back to the presentation, since you have had clients in the past, what I would do, I'm going to just speak what I would do if I was in your shoes. Okay. What I would do is, I would connect with those clients, those past clients. I would, in a sense, either do a survey or just, let them like, hey, I'm building up my business. I want to make sure I'm able to help more women of color. You understand the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I need your help. Do you have 5 or 10 minutes that we can chat? And when you chat with that past client, you start asking them questions of, of course you ask them about their experiences with you, right? But also ask, why did they buy? Why did they buy? Because, when whatever story they give you, you can regurgitate that in a confidential way, right? And when you do it, and it's going to sound similar to some other woman's story. So how do I get my business out there? Then you take that story and you develop, in a sense, let's say you develop a campaign. Like you say, for this month, I'm going to focus on, give me a reason why people come to you. Is it because of trust? Because you're a woman of color?
Yeah, and I've had some of the same experiences that they have in the hospital.
Okay.
So I want to avoid it.
Okay, so even if you did like a short campaign of bringing awareness to the issues that women of color have, right? And also then telling them why working with someone like me is going to help you feel more comfortable and confident through the process, okay? When you begin to do that and you share those things in a way that, you're pretty much speaking the language of your potential client, then people are going to start asking questions. People are going to start asking questions, right? And that's when you pretty much, you go to the impact selling. You start probing, asking, what are the challenges that they had, what are their goals, and then whatever your benefits of your service is, then you share that. Okay. So I know, like I said, I feel a little bit on the spot because we had 10 minutes. But the biggest thing I would really just tell you is, if you had the opportunity to go back and speak to your past client, do that, because that's going to help you going forward, right? Also, because you know who you're targeting, if you're thinking about the marketing aspect of it, you're dealing with health. You're dealing with health, okay? There are so many awareness months, awareness days that you can piggyback on, right? Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and, even though that doesn't directly correlate to having a baby, but hey, Black women, you know that we are prone to get XYZ and breast cancer awareness. This is why it's so important to understand the disparaging XYZ as it relates to you. And just so you know, this is I help women like you. So let's connect. Let's talk. It's all we have to do is figure out who that ideal client is. What is it that they care about? What is the service that you offer, and how those all interlink. That's your sweet spot also, to identify what content I should be sharing, or what should I be saying through my verbiage.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
it does. Did that help at all?
I feel precious.
No, it was very good. Thank you so much.
That was amazing.
Yes, it was very good.
That was so funny, because that's like a question I had for so long, ever since April. I was like, what does my audience actually want? Not what I'm trying to push, but what do they want? And I had had a couple published articles locally that I think out of all of them, and they were all okay for the general Western New York area, but because it was a Latino magazine, it's a periodical, it's you have to focus on that particular market. So I'm definitely vibing and appreciate everything that you shared with us today, Rochelle. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I mean, the biggest key I would leave everyone with is, I think sometimes when we have a business, we hide behind the entity. Okay. And what I mean by that is, listen, we're humans. We live in a digital world and everybody's doing XYZ, but if you show up and say, hey, I'm human just like you, I care just like you, I understand you, there are still a lot of great people in this world that if you say, listen, I'm trying to grow my business, this is my mission and my vision. When you share that with people and you're passionate about it, they're going to do whatever they can to help you. Okay. Right. So you just, especially if it's your past clients, the best way to move forward from here to really ace your marketing, ace your sales, go back and talk to your past clients, and this is the awesome thing, ladies and gents, everybody should be getting testimonials. If you have already been getting testimonials and reviews, it usually says in there. right? And when I ask my clients for testimonials and reviews, I say, listen, don't just say Rochelle's great, because they don't know how great I am. I want you to share what was the challenge you had prior to coming to me, right? And what was it that I did to help you make your life easier? Kind of dig into that story a little bit for me, because when you get thorough reviews and testimonials like that, then the idea of trying to figure out what it is that they want, I had a past client that said, listen, you just made my life easier. You do the things I don't want to do. You know what I say to people? I'm going to do the marketing and sales, the things you don't want to do. So now you can focus on your craft. All I did was took what she said. And I had clients say, you are exactly right. I do not want to do no sales. I just want to do XYZ because that's what I went to school for. That's what's my path. Perfect. Now, what would you like to get started?
Rochelle, that's a great segue into this next piece. Can you put your contact info in the chat?
Absolutely.
For us? So if anybody wants to get in touch with you guys can also contact us at PathStone, and we'll get you in touch with Rochelle, whatever's easiest, whatever you're most comfortable with. Rochelle, phenomenal. Just thank you so much great information. And this was fun for me, just as a human being, but also as an employee of PathStone, knowing the people on this call. I know just about everybody on the call today and have a relationship with them, and I know that they are all better for being here and having learned from you. And if you guys want to do a role play with Rochelle or have a 30-minute consult, let me know, and we'll get you hooked up. We'll get that taken care of. This was great. So I'm going to put up the.
Good Lord.
I'm going to put the announcement slide up here one more time as we kind of head out for the day. Remember, those worksheets that I had pulled up a little bit ago throughout the presentation, those are going to be in the email. Use those. If you have questions about how to use those, reach out to us, reach out to Rochelle. We will walk you through it. We'll make sure you get all those questions answered. Those are real tools you can use in your business. I mean, I do that in my businesses. I do it here at PathStone. I use those kind of tools. So please use those worksheets. Again, next level, Monday from 12 to 1:30. Mike, we're doing succession planning, right, sir?
That's correct. That's correct. We're actually going to talk about the process. I think people need to keep it in mind. It will definitely help them with regard to the future expansions for whatever they're going to do.
Absolutely. And we will have a guest presenter on there with Mr. McCarley. We'll have Crystal Rodriguez on there to be the legal expert, the legal mind in the room for all those kind of questions. Keep in mind the Fast Forward Monroe Grant Program, as well as the Road to Wealth event on November 19th, 3 to 5. It's free. It's with us. Join us. We want to see you there. We want to help you get on the road to wealth in your business. Also, Profit and Loss podcast on all your different podcast platforms there, all the channels. Check us out. We got 3 episodes up. They're half an hour. Listen to them in the car, on drive to work, picking up the kids. Whenever you have time to listen to that. But Rochelle, thank you so much. This was great. A lot of great information. Guys, this will be available. We'll send it out to you in the post-workshop email. We'll also send it out to you, or it'll be available on YouTube and Facebook Live, archives, all that. So with that, thank you everybody for showing up. It's been a wonderful 2020. Thank you so much. This is our final forum of the year. Look out in your email, Facebook, Instagram, all that for updates on what's coming in 2021. And we will definitely see you before the end of the year. You'll see us. It just won't be a forum. But guys, thank you so much. And enjoy your weekend. Have a great holiday season.
Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Be safe.
Definitely.
Safe.
All right. Bye.